world. Hold on. Da-da. Hello. Can we kick it? Yes, we can. 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 Hi there. Hi, welcome. Welcome back. Tough foil to roast. Tough foil to roast. That's Irish. You are very welcome. I just made a whole other video and I fucked up. Maybe I'll still use it, but I don't think I'm going to. I'm using a camera today. Can you tell? The massive quality improvement. I was using my phone and yeah, it wasn't good. And I've had this camera, but the battery was dead. And when a video comes into my head, I'm like, gotta do it right now. That's why it's 11 p.m. right now. And I was like, yeah, I'll just make it tomorrow. And my intuition was like, no, you fucking won't. Go and do it now, girl. So here I am. I'm here to talk about judgment and gossip. So, what's the story? As human beings, no, I'll tell the story. I started a new job. I'm in a big, huge company. There's so many people. They're running around. I'm running around. Everybody is there running around. And it was slightly overwhelming the first couple of days. A little backstory. I am very much a hermit type girl. And I took 3 years of rest. 3 years of solitude where I hid myself away from the world. I moved out to the countryside. I worked 2, maybe 3 days a week, but in that job I worked with one other person. So I didn't see anybody. And that's a very controlled environment. When you isolate yourself like that, you're not rubbing up against anybody else, you know. You see one other person and you know who they are, and you can predict the conversations, you can predict the way it's going to be. When you're out in the public, you can bump into anybody and they can trigger the shit out of you. So I was in my healing bubble. I was protecting myself from people. So I thought. Now I got to know myself very well, and it was great, but that can only get you so far. You can get to know yourself all day long alone, but until you're in relationship with other people, you don't know who you are, and you're not giving yourself the opportunity to see what else within me needs to be looked at. I won't say needs to be healed. We're not here to just heal. We're not here to be on a hamster wheel of healing. But something comes up and makes us realize I reacted badly to that. I would not like to continue reacting to that. We can respond to things, but if we're reacting, it's essentially another part of us is sitting into the driver's seat of our awareness and taking over. And more often than not, that's a child. It's a little child who's angry or who's triggered or who's sad, and they take over when somebody triggers something within us. So somebody comes to you and they say something or they do something that reminds, so many words are trying to come out of my mouth at the same time. It triggers a response within you that is a reoccurring pattern. So something that happened to you when you were a kid, that kid didn't know how to deal with this. They had a reaction. That's going to come up time and time and time again until you can speak to that child and you can say, hey, listen, I know what happened wasn't nice, or it wasn't fair, or it made you angry, or it made you scared, but actually I'm a grown-up now and I'm going to deal with it from now on, instead of you coming and taking over and throwing a tantrum or whatever the reaction is, running away, shutting down, going into fight or flight mode, getting really scared, whatever the reaction is. We come in as the grown-ups and we speak to that child in order to comfort them and to let them know, you don't have to deal with that anymore. I've got this. So, the story goes, I'm in this place, in this new job. There's hundreds of people everywhere. But in my section, there are maybe 40 people. Sorry, I've got a cat in here. What are you doing, girl? She's just jumping into a box. There's about 40 people that I work with in that particular section, and as soon as I got there, I started having judgments because I noticed immediately so many people within that space are gossiping about each other. And to me, when I look at gossip, it looks like a computer virus, and it comes into your computer from another computer and it negatively impacts you, and then that virus wants to be spread onto another computer. So when someone gossips to you, there's a reaction there. You want to be involved. You want to spread it on. Not necessarily you, me. This is one of my things, but I think it's helpful for many. So somebody came to me, somebody I didn't know came to speak to me about somebody else that I didn't know. It was the second day I worked there. And I was like, what is going on here? What is this place? It reminded me of being in school, being 15 years old in school. So I went home from work and I was, wanting to tell other people about it. And I think a lot. So I was thinking about this and I was like, I'm judging them. I'm judging them for judging other people. So I got kind of stuck on this for a couple of days because I was like, there's a difference somewhere and I can't put my finger on it, but I am being judgmental of them for being judgmental. So I had to really look at what's happening here because I do not want to gossip, but at the same time I'm condemning other people. I'm judging them in my mind. It doesn't matter if I'm verbally passing it on. I'm still having a judgment of these people for judging other people. So ironic, right? So I sat with it for a couple of days and, as humans, we have to judge things. We have to judge people, situations, the environment. Am I safe? Is this a safe person? Is this a safe place for me to be? That's discerning safety. But the difference with the gossip is that's passing shame. That's passing judgment on other people for the purpose of... There tends to be like camaraderie in it where, if I gossip then, I'm part of the group, I'm part of the clique, I'll be accepted, but and that could be a surface level for what gossip is, but underneath it, it's a negative energy and it's spreading a negative energy around the place. And I don't want to be involved with that, but at the same time, there's a part of me that is wanting to jump on board with that. But I'm judging it so hard. I'm judging it all the time. I'm thinking about it all the time. So one night then, I was lying in bed and I realized I had rejected a part of myself. I had rejected an inner teenager. So if we reject a part of ourselves, we are going to see that part of ourselves everywhere. And we're going to judge the shit out of it. So whatever you don't like about somebody else is usually a part of yourself that you're rejecting. So I was lying in bed and I realized I'm not judging them, I'm judging myself. I'm judging the inner 15-year-old. I'm judging the girl who made friends by gossiping. She didn't know how to connect with people. She didn't know how to relate. She didn't know how to have a beautiful human connection. Just saying that gives me relief. She didn't understand how to have deep connections with people. So the only way she thought she could relate to others was by gossiping, whether it's about something they saw in the town, whether it's about another person, whatever it is, but it was always gossip. So I realized I had been judging myself all along. The world, people are mirrors. We have constantly got a mirror held up to us. Anything that we're judging in somebody else is a part of ourselves that we are rejecting. So, and then of course my curiosity led me to, which part of me is judging the 15-year-old? And it was, when I was maybe in my probably early 20s, late teens, I was maybe 19 or 20. And I had my spiritual awakening. My awareness came online. I was sitting on a high horse. I'm so enlightened. I'm so aware. And I would never judge another person. I would never speak badly. Whenever you find yourself saying, I would never do such a thing, be careful. Because you might find yourself in a situation where you end up doing the thing you condemn. Or it's already in your past. So it was, the inner 19-year-old was really rejecting the younger parts of herself. Because she thought, I'm better than that. I'm better than that now. And it's like, okay, maybe you are because you don't do those things, but a part of you is still doing those things. And the further you reject it, it doesn't turn off that part of you either, by the way. That part of you is still there, judging people and wanting to gossip, but a bigger part of you is judging yourself for doing that. And the harder you reject it, the further into your shadow you push it. And when something is in your shadow, it's, when you get triggered, that's when it comes out. It's when we're least conscious of ourselves, that's when the shadow tends to come out. So I hope I said something helpful in all of that. I feel like, if you're sitting here and you are watching my videos, there's probably some resonation there. There's probably a part of me is probably in a part of you, or I'm speaking to a part of you, or it's something maybe that you needed to hear in order to stop judging yourself. So the next time you find yourself condemning somebody else, sit down and ask, is there a chance I do that? Is there a chance maybe even that I used to do it? If I don't do it anymore, maybe that I do it once upon a time. Did somebody I love do it? Because, everything tends to be passed from our parents. We don't pick these things up off the ground. So it's coming from somewhere. And if we're rejecting something, it's always a sign that it's a part of me. And I need to love and accept it. And stop condemning it. And stop judging. so funny. I'm judging them for being judgmental. How dare they? So yeah, I think that's the video. But my core belief is, if you are sitting here and you have sat through it, something in the universe brought you to this video. So there might be a message there. And I think that's me. Lots of love.